Right. Let's dive into something we all know and, well, maybe love. Love.
Ah, love.
We're going to be focusing on English speakers today
Yeah.
and how they talk about love, all those ups and downs.
Yeah, it's really interesting how different cultures and languages experience and express love.
Right. And, even if you aren't learning English, I think you'll find this deep dive interesting. We're going to look at all of it from
Yeah.
like, first attraction to long-term relationships, even heartbreak.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about the vocabulary, the metaphors they use,
Huh?
even idioms.
That's right. And the source material jumps right in talking about attraction, using phrases like falling head over heels.
Oh, head over heels. I love that one.
But beyond just those initial butterflies, I wonder how cultural factors play a role, like in how we experience and express that early stage attraction.
It's true because, the idea of falling for someone, it implies like a lack of control,
Mhm.
almost like you're being swept away by your emotions. Do other languages use similar imagery?
Mm.
I mean, I know uh, I know our source material highlights a key difference between falling for someone
Hmm.
and being in love.
Yeah.
Emphasizing that idea of like a gradual progression of feelings.
It's true.
It doesn't always happen right away.
Yeah, that gradual development of feeling, I think, really speaks to a common theme in Western cultures.
Okay.
Where love is seen as something that unfolds over time.
Oh, so not just like bam, instant love.
Yeah, not necessarily instant.
Okay.
But like getting to know someone, building a connection, and then, boom, you're in love.
Okay, so it's more about building that foundation then.
Exactly. Though, I mean, there are always exceptions, right?
Okay.
But this emphasis on a gradual progression, it's interesting, especially compared to how other cultures might see, the whole trajectory of love.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, does the language we use sort of shape our expectations about love?
Totally. And speaking of shaping meaning, the source material actually also points out the importance of tone.
Oh, co.
It can complete change the meaning of even like simple phrases like I like you.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely learned that one the hard way.
Right.
A poorly timed "I like you" can really mess things up.
Yeah. Have you noticed how tone plays a role in your own communication?
Oh, all the time. One word can mean so many different things.
Yeah.
Like it can be warm, it can be sarcastic, it can even be indifferent. Just depending on how you say it.
It's amazing how much meaning we can pack into a single word.
It's true. Okay. So let's say you've navigated those first like sparks of attraction.
Hmm.
Things are going well. You're moving into like more established relationship territory.
Mhm.
The source material uses words like soulmate
Ooh, soulmates.
and feeling complete.
It's almost like cliche at this point, isn't it? But it speaks to that human desire, like for a connection that feels destined, like you found the missing piece of yourself.
Yeah.
These words in English really often signal a deep commitment. You wouldn't use those lately.
It definitely carries like a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think about like different cultures and how they place value on commitment in relationships. It's not always about finding, the one or your other half.
That's right. And then in kind of a lighter moment, the source material uses this metaphor of a rock
A rock.
to describe a supportive partner.
Oh, I like that. Rock. So steady.
Say.
Unwavering.
Yeah.
Reliable.
Do you have a favorite way to describe like a strong partnership?
I kind of like the rock metaphor.
Mm.
It feels very down to earth. It's
Ah.
I appreciate that grounded feeling that it gives, like strength, stability, unwavering support.
It's true.
I think those are characteristics that are really valued in a partner.
It's interesting how English uses these physical objects to represent emotional qualities. Think about
They-
metaphors in your own language. Do they emphasize similar things?
That's a good point. Metaphors add so much depth to how we communicate.
They do.
And it reminds me of something else that the source material emphasizes. Actions often speak louder than words.
Yes.
It's not just about saying, I love you.
Hmm.
It's about being present, making an effort.
Absolutely. It's about translating those feelings into actions. Words are important, but they need to be backed up to really resonate.
For sure. But love isn't always grand gestures and happily ever after.
Yeah.
Our source material doesn't shy away from the fact that relationships can be really challenging, and sometimes they end.
Yes, and heartbreak is, unfortunately, kind of a universal experience.
Mm-hmm.
The source material explores phrases like broken heart,
Broken heart,
not meant to be,
not meant to be.
time to heal.
Time to heal. Yeah, it's interesting to me how often English will personify the heart, like it's this separate entity that can be broken or healed.
It really reflects how deeply we connect emotion to the heart, you know? It's not just a physical organ.
Right.
It's the seat of our feelings where we're vulnerable. And I think this personification really highlights the emotional weight that we put on matters of the heart.
It's true. And that brings us to a pretty delicate topic, unrequited love. The source material handles this very sensitively, highlighting how important tact and understanding are in those situations.
Because even when love isn't reciprocated, it's still a very powerful emotion, and it deserves to be acknowledged and respected.
Yeah.
Navigating those conversations takes a lot of empathy and careful communication.
It's a delicate dance for sure. Speaking of navigating tricky conversations, the source material also has some fantastic idioms that add a little whimsy to the language of love. Are you ready to dive into the world of, like, love at first sight
Let's do it.
and wearing your heart on your sleeve?
Let's unpack those charming idioms. I'm curious about those cultural nuances that they reveal. Idioms are like little windows into a culture's values and beliefs.
Oh, I like that.
Like love at first sight.
Ah, yes. Love at first sight.
Is it real?
Who knows?
Debatable.
Debatable.
But it speaks to this romantic idea of instant connection, like a spark.
Yeah.
That ignites immediately.
I'm a little skeptical of love at first sight.
Yeah.
But I can't deny it's a captivating idea. It makes you think about, like, intuition, attraction, these mysterious ways we connect with other people.
Yeah. What are those initial cues that draw us to someone? Is it purely physical?
Yeah.
Or is there something more?
Right. And then the source material also talks about head over heel,
Head over heels, yeah.
which literally sounds like you're just tumbling headfirst into love.
That's exactly what it feels like sometimes, isn't it? Like the
Yeah.
world's a little off kilter. You can't stop thinking about that person. It's a great phrase.
It really captures that feeling
Yeah.
of being, like, swept off your feet, completely consumed by how intense your feelings are.
And my personal favorite from the source material is wear your heart on your sleeve.
Wear your heart on your sleeve. I love that one.
It speaks to authenticity, vulnerability, not being afraid to show your true self.
Yeah.
Even if it means, you could get hurt.
I love that one too. And it connects back to that idea we were talking about before
Yeah.
about action speaking louder than words.
Yes.
Wearing your heart on your sleeve is about expressing those feelings openly, letting people see your true emotions.
It suggests a certain fearlessness,
Huh?
like a willingness to be emotionally transparent.
Hmm.
It's a quality that I think is often admired, even if it can lead to heartache.
It's true. It's a good reminder that that true connection requires us to let our guard down, be open and receptive
Yeah.
to both the joys and the sorrows that love can bring.
Well said. And speaking of navigating the complexities of love, the source material ends with this practical element,
Okay.
a practice session, to help you put all these new phrases and insights into action.
Oh, interesting. So it's like a low-stakes simulation
Yeah.
for real-world conversations.
Exactly.
Right.
The practice scenarios give you a safe space to experiment with different phrases and tones because, let's face it, navigating, the complexities of love,
Yeah.
it can be challenging, even in your native language.
Oh, absolutely.
The first scenario they tackle is that classic confession of feelings. Nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah. Heart pounding, palms are sweating. Got to tell someone how you feel.
Right, what do you say?
Right.
The source materials suggest something simple and straightforward, like, I really like you. I've had feelings for you for a while.
Okay. Straightforward.
It's honest, it's heartfelt, and it leaves room for the other person to respond.
Yeah.
It emphasizes that it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You're expressing your feelings, but you're also opening the door for a conversation.
No guarantees.
Right.
But you put yourself out there.
You did it.
And the source reminds us that Tone is really key here, like nervous excitement, calm confidence, a little playful flirtation.
Hmm.
It all adds nuance to the message.
It does. What if things don't go as planned?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you've been in a relationship for a while
Mm-hmm.
and it's time to say goodbye. That's the second scenario.
Okay.
Talking to a friend about a breakup.
Oh, breakups. Breakups are never easy,
Mm.
but they are a part of life. The source material reminds us that heartbreak is a universal experience.
It is.
And even though it hurts,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to be able to express those emotions.
Absolutely. They suggest a phrase like, "I'm sad, but I know I'll move on eventually." It acknowledges the pain,
Mhm.
but also expresses a sense of hope and resilience.
It's a good reminder that while heartbreak is a very powerful emotion, it's not permanent.
Mm,
Time heals, as they say.
it does.
And in the meantime, it's important to lean on your friends, have
Yeah.
people you can talk to and share your experience
Yeah.
with. And that's where language comes in.
Yes.
Being able to articulate your feelings, share your story, it helps you process things and move forward.
Absolutely. It's about finding the words to express that complex mix of sadness, anger, confusion,
Yeah.
and hopefully eventually acceptance that often comes with heartbreak.
Yeah. Wow, we've covered a lot of emotional ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From those first exhilarating moments of attraction to the bittersweet experience of heartbreak,
Mm.
we've looked at how the English language gives us this rich tapestry of words and expressions to navigate all the different facets of love.
Yeah,
So we've really gone through it all, haven't we?
we have. The highs, the lows.
The highs, the lows, all those emotions, all through the lens of English.
For English, yeah.
It's amazing how many different ways there are to talk about love. From like tone of voice to idioms. It's fascinating.
It is, it is. What stands out to you as we kind of wrap up this deep dive? Was there a certain phrase or something new you learned about how English speakers approach love?
For me, what really stood out was that reminder that language is always changing.
Mhm.
Even something as universal as love is expressed in ways that reflect, how culture changes, how individuals experience things.
Yeah, and that constant evolution is what keeps language so vibrant and interesting.
Mm.
New words pop up, old phrases get new meanings, idioms capture like a specific moment in time.
It's true. And
Mhm.
what we've talked about today is just a small glimpse into this huge, ever-changing world of love and how English speakers express. It makes you wonder how other languages capture these same emotions and experiences.
That's the beauty of language, isn't it? It's
Okay.
like a mirror reflecting the unique values and perspectives of different cultures. I'd encourage you to think about how love is expressed in your own language.
Yeah. What are the special phrases, the poetic metaphors, those traditions that have been passed down for generations that really shape how you understand love?
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, this deep dive wasn't just about English.
Right.
It was about exploring that shared human experience of love and how that's reflected in the way we communicate.
Love is messy, it's complicated, it's exhilarating, sometimes it's heartbreaking, but being able to talk about it,
Yeah.
to really express those feelings
Yeah.
with all their complexity, I think that's what makes it so special.
And who knows? Maybe this deep dive has made you a little curious about other languages and how they talk about love.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's encouraged you to pay more attention to the ways, you express love in your own life.
However you choose to express it, may your life be full of love in all its beautiful forms.
Well said. Until next time, happy diving.